the stock market, meaning companies' new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, including Bitcoin, NFTs, darknets, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today on Market Mania, we get to the bag. Once again, JPOW press conference, that's going to move the markets. Wall Street bets Apes into Apes. NFT Hacks, knew that was coming. And Matt Glantz, Penn added to the S&P 500. What a run from $4 last year. What the hell does this mean for the high-flying Portnoy stock?
Yep, Mike, on Portnoy did it again. I mean, I think everyone in the marketplace gives Portnoy all the credit. It's so impressive what he's done. You know, Penn's properties they had before Portnoy, I think they did a deal a little over a year ago. The properties were, you know, in the shithole, obviously because of COVID, like every other casino company, no fault of their own. But his brand kept them alive and kept them growing in the stock. So before the pandemic, the stock was in the 20s, maybe 30. Penn stock went down to like 4 at the beginning of the pandemic. And now we're seeing it today, 118. So on Friday, right after the close, the stock was $130 a share. S&P announced they're adding Penn to the S&P 500. Stock went up to like 140 after hours. It was like 140 Monday morning. It's now come in because the market's dropped a lot. I guess there was sellers waiting for this announcement. Stock's down to 118, and it's getting added officially Monday before the open. So Friday's close with the last chance you can buy it before it gets added to the S&P. There'll be a lot of funds that are forced to buy it. So I love it here at 118. It's my biggest long position right now. Brett, is this something like you think Robinhood traders will be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, those checks, today is the main day for stimulus checks, right? And so you can add that narrative as well. People love Portnoy. I think it's super impressive what he did last year, basically pivoting into stocks. He wasn't known as a stock guy at all until COVID hit and there was no sports. And so he pivoted into something really, I don't know, magical, you could say, like Davey Day Trader. It crushed it. I don't even know if this show would exist if he hadn't started doing Davey Day Trader, to be honest. So I think you got to take your hat off to him. And I like what you said about funds having to buy it when it hits the S&P. So then you get this other momentum. It's kind of similar to the GameStop short squeeze. People have to cover and it kind of snowballs. So yeah, I think it's a good buy here.
So Mike, where would Portnoy list on your all-time American rankings list, like heroes? Like, I know he's no Elon Musk, but he's got to be up top 10 for sure, right?
Let's not throw around. I mean, Portnoy's amazing marketer, no doubt. Absolutely brilliant. The online sports betting seemed to save this thing while everything was closed to COVID. But you can't go to I mean, you can't put him in the same name. Musk is launching rockets, building cars, solving energy crises, 700 richest man in the world, all in on his. I mean, it's a different order of magnitude. There's levels to this shit, is all I'm saying. He's producing an NFT that actually slaps during all this.
He loved it.
But I wouldn't be surprised for Portnoy to put a little flamethrower in the merch store eventually.
I mean, Portnoy's good. Portnoy's good, and then it seems like he saved Penn. I don't see how, without the Barstool brand, without the online sports betting, I don't see how this thing wouldn't still be in the $4 to $25 shitter right now.
What's the Penn market cap? Because they paid only $400 million for Barstool, which it looks like an insane steal. Billion. They got like a 25x return on that, probably at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's a multiple. It's a multiple. It's not. I wouldn't say 25x, but that's
20 billion.
It is a 10x. It is a 5x, 10x. 5x.
They paid $400 million.
Maybe
you think
20,
they're over 10? You think they're over 10 billion without Portnoy?
No, maybe you're right.
That's 25x.
I'm not. I retract. Hand raised. But that's an amazing story, Matt. And I mean, do you think that this can justify a 20B cap right here? I mean, is this people think they're getting half a DraftKings or something?
Well, Okay, let's just be honest. I don't know how to value any company in this market. I don't think anybody does because these companies don't trade on earnings potential. GameStop's $220 a share. So who cares if Barstool's 20 billion market cap? It's all until earnings and valuations matter, which might be the end of this year or next year. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter. It's just all about story stocks. So Penn's a story stock. As long as they keep crushing, as long as Portnoy is still doing well when they go into each new state for the sports betting arena, stocks can go up.
Pretty crazy story there. And you got to just wonder, because I guess everything's still relatively shuttered for COVID or half open with plexiglass and bullshit. I mean, no one's trying to have a casino night right now with grandma. I mean, quite yet. But interesting to watch.
Man, you'd be surprised.
The hardest of the core. NFT hacks. This is something that we probably thought was going to happen whenever you have a public key, private key, anything that stores anything. You're always sort of worried. And Brett Ritchie, what exactly happened with the Nifty Gateway here?
So over the weekend, a few accounts, some like bigger accounts on Nifty Gateway got hacked. Nifty Gateway says basically it's user error. They didn't have 2FA enabled and somebody hacked their email or whatever and got into their accounts, and they transferred all of their NFTs out and even spent up to $20,000 on people's credit cards buying more to then sell. So they were basically they would dump these for cheap and then transfer the Bitcoin that they received out into their own wallet. And then there's another one, which was a social token hack, which was this was more of like a potential inside job, but Roll, this company that people issue social tokens through, there was a hack there, and a bunch of like Whale, who is the biggest NBA Top Shot holder, and some other people had their social tokens hacked. And it just got me thinking, like everyone's like, oh, mainstream adoption. Like I've said, Ethereum to me feels like the whale's playground. And the average person, it's really overwhelming, and I don't think they're ever going to be whelmed by, here's your password, don't ever lose it, don't ever let anyone else see it. Go, good luck, and now store value with this. Like that rules so many people out of engaging with these things.
I mean, we're still early, and when people say that, sometimes they're just bullshitting. But sometimes, if you're really in it for the tech, then like you realize that eventually there will be much smarter systems, like M of N systems that are actually smartly made. So you have to press a button instead of sign something in Electrum or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what the hell a social token is. Don't really understand what the fuck that means. But I do know that Whale guy had all the NFTs on Top Shot, and he produced a token that you could vote on what to buy next, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I know people are having fun there, and I know people are getting hacked. Matt Glantz, do you want to ape in right here? I mean, do you love NFTs yet? Have we convinced you?
I'm already sick of NFTs. Let's move into the apes. Let's move right along.
This was crazy, and I don't know if we should play this or not, but like Wall Street Bets does it again, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't had it locked here, this is amazing. So over the weekend, when there's no market, there's a lot of people on Wall Street Bets now, like, 9 or 10 million strong, that have made it sort of, they like to do charity things that sort of fit with the theme. In this case, there was a gorilla saving place, and obviously these places aren't really flush with cash usually. So they took a lot of their profits from GameStop, AMC, and other random YOLOs, and they started buying and sponsoring the various animals in this organization. Should we play it, Tony? I mean, do we have to play it? I mean, I don't know. It's like what is it? How long is it?
My name is Tara Stravinsky. I'm the president and CEO of the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund. And I was just made aware that you have been adopting gorillas through our website. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for this incredible support. In case you're not familiar with us, we are the world's largest and longest running organization that is fully dedicated to gorilla conservation. Every day, 365 days a year, we are in the field protecting the world's remaining gorillas and also helping the people who share their forest home. So thank you again so much for your support. It will go a long way in helping our important mission.
So they changed their website. The website to this place, what is it, Fossey Gorilla Fund? I probably butchered that. But they changed their website to say apes ape together or something. They adopted some of the Wall Street Bets language. which I wonder if the Wall Street Bets guy got it from the crypto people, from the aping. I don't know if Alex Weiss may have started that. I don't know. It seemed to appear about the same time. But
no, he didn't start it.
He didn't start that? Okay, sorry. But they aped into apes. I mean, I think he popularized it this time around. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and then,
for sure.
And so I think it was up to 77K that this place took in over the weekend, which is probably a face shot for the ape saving people. I just would assume. And I guess it's grown since then. And so that's just I don't know, it's a feel-good story. Brett, I mean, you got to love that, right? You got to love
man.
That. The degens
I
giving back.
like apes, man. I like giving back. So no argument here.
Glance, have you ever seen anything like this before in the stock market when like charity sort of spills over? This has been happening for a while. They were donating to the Autism Awareness Foundation for a while, but I
think we've seen a lot of it in local municipalities in the past, but I think it's more mainstream and gets more publicity now just because of social media and internet. So it's like the same thing, but on a bigger scale now.
Retail investors have new power, especially when you pool in 10 million packs together. Tony, the producer, there's a Fed. Boys? JPOW's talking today. You got to have a hot take on this with some doom. Give me some doom. Give me some gloom.
That's right. All eyes and ears are on the press conference today with Jerome Powell. Now, I can make a few predictions about how this is going to go, but on one level, it seems like the Fed is almost willing to play chicken with this market. They know, we all know that it's dependent entirely on what Jay Powell says today, whether this thing goes up or down. Now, I'm not sure the Fed is real happy with that situation. They don't have much they can do about it, but they may want to watch it fall just a little bit so that they feel more justified in coming out and doing things like, Jay Powell's going to talk about all the tools in the toolbox, his big, powerful tool. He can't stop talking about it. But maybe he doesn't want to pull it out yet. Maybe he wants us to feel the burn a little bit before they go and do that. I think ultimately they will, though. The things to look out for are yield curve control, reserve requirements in banks, boring plumbing shit, but everyone's got eyes on Powell, so this thing could go up or down. I recommend just being heavy cash right now until I think he speaks at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Market's going to move one way or the other after that in a big way. Matt, you've seen a lot of press conferences like this, but this might be one of the most important. How are you looking ahead to this?
Well, just in normal times when Powell's going to speak at 2 o'clock or they're going to release statements, the market moves a ton of those last 2 hours. So I'm going to expect more of the same. So we're probably going to move big in one direction, hoping it's up, but it's probably more likely than not going to be down the last 2 hours today. We'll see.
Well, I think their back's against the wall. They're looking at this 10-year. They're right there, 10-year. That's been climbing today, and they're going to try and control that as much as possible because if that
10
goes
years,
up, market goes down.
Tony, 10 years, 1.68%. That's the highest we've seen. It's really trucking. Getting close to that 2% mark.
What I don't get is why are their backs against the wall? The market's gone totally nuts in the last year, especially during a lot of people out of work, things like that. So why does Powell have all this pressure to keep the pump going? Can't he just say, all right, y'all had your fun, chill out for a bit. We're going to focus on people that really need help.
So if Powell wants to put inflation in check and he comes out and says today, he's not going to do this, but let's say, to answer your question, let's say he came out today and said, we're going to start raising rates to keep inflation in check. If he just raised rates 0.25%, the market would be the S&P would probably go down 5 to 10%, immediately.
Limit down.
That's how much risk there is to it.
Also, this affects home prices and mortgages. This would pop a housing bubble. It would pop the stock market bubble. Commodities would spike. Yeah. The government wouldn't be able to service its own debt as interest rates go up. It has the possibility to shut down everything. It could be that your gas station doesn't get its next shipment of fuel because credit markets have crashed. This is more serious than I think a lot of people understand. This is the whole Toledo. And if he screws it up today, we're going to feel the burn.
And this guy makes $200K a year, by the way. That's what we've decided. That this such an important job is worth $200K a year. So we're guaranteed to get the best guy in charge.
That's right.
Bitcoin at 50, just below 55,000 here. Got to love your metals and your crypto during uncertainty times like this.
That's what I'm saying.
So, Tony, thank you.
One more thing on that, guys, that the viewers really want to know. And Brett asked a question, basically he's asking, why are interest rates so important? Why does 0.25% move matter so much? Why is it going to freak the markets? From a perspective of viewers watching the show, think about it like this: for every 1% rise in mortgage rates in this country, the average or median house value goes down 10%, 10 to 1. So if rates went up 1%, our houses would be theoretically worth 10% less on the market. And that goes both ways. So rates are that important.
And you got to wonder why someone in control of your money that makes less than like a Google programmer will affect your house price like that. Got to wonder about that system of money that we use today in most of the world. So, Tony, thank you for that. Please stay where you are. And if you would, let's get to the bag.
All right. First question is from Twitter. BL asks, is Matt Glenn still long GME and AMC? And is Brian Micon really a cat? Well, let's check in on GME. You can answer the cat question.
All right. So I'm short GME, short the 300 calls. I'm short like 30 of them for $7. I sold them for $7.62. They're now $6. They expire Friday. So if I make $6, if the stock doesn't go over 300 by Friday, I'm really hoping it doesn't, because it's a nightmare when it does, because it probably doesn't just go to 300, it goes to 500. So I have to cover at some point. So we'll sweat that one out. So I'm short GME and AMC. We talked about it on the show on Friday because the stimmy checks, that was my pick of the day at 10.92, I believe. It's now 13.28. I sold it right around 13, so it's up like 30 cents more. It was up more yesterday or 2 days ago before it went down. It was over 14 yesterday and came down $1. So now it's 13.30. I probably wouldn't hold it at this point. I don't think it has much long-term value. It was just a trade, as we talked about, but we made 25%, so I'm happy with that.
And I am not a cat, and I like the stock.
You're not a cat?
I like the stock. Yes. I'm buying here. Yes.
Stephen Northrop from chat is asking, so if Powell does nothing, do the stocks shoot up, or is this just a lose or no gain scenario? So if Powell does nothing or says the wrong thing, I think stocks are going to go way down. If Powell comes out and says he's going to backstop this market, then I think stocks will start rising. You'll see that 10-year fall and stocks will rise. So there's more downside than upside with Powell out there today, I believe. Matt, am I kind of in the ballpark there, or what do you think?
I think maybe your words are kind of misleading. He's not going to do anything. Like there's nothing. He's not going to change rates. He's not going to lessen the amount of bonds they're buying, mortgage-backed securities they're buying every month. He's not going to do anything today. It's 99%. Nothing's going to change. But he could say the wrong thing for sure and make people believe he's going to raise rates sooner than expected. It's just about his wording is basically what you're talking about. And yeah, if he slips up and says the wrong things, the S&P's down 2%, the Nasdaq's down 4% in a jiffy.
I just want to say this is batshit crazy. I've been watching this for over 2 decades. I remember when Alan Greenspan was in that position, he used to walk in, CNBC would be sweating the size of his briefcase. Like, oh shit, it looks stuffed. This is batshit crazy. This is why does this affect the valuation of home prices, equities, how much your money is actually going to be worth? It's just crazy that there's one dude that's just going to say pause was too long.
It's sick. It's criminal. It's the death of the greatest economy the world has ever seen, and we just got to understand it and try and make money in and amongst it. And Matt, I agree with you. He's not going to make any major changes. He would never change rates. He would never do anything like that. But the one thing left in his toolbox is to start buying bonds. So if he mentions yield curve control, this market will go up. But I just think if he says steady as she goes, there's nothing steady. I think it goes down at that point. So.
Well, they're buying $120 billion of bonds every month right now. So he could taper that off. He could cut it down to $100 billion or something. That would probably spook the market, but we'll see.
Right on. All right. Let's get to some of them picks. What do you say?
All right. The bag is emptied as we do every now and again. So that means it's time for the hot-paced, fast and furious Market Mania pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
just some random gambling picks and you do your own research. Now, Matt Glantz, go ahead and give us your pick of the day.
My pick of the day, no surprise, is Penn Gaming, aka Dave Portnoy. It's $119 a share. Get that ticket. There you go. Penn Gaming there, Tony. $119 a share, getting added to the S&P this weekend. I think you got to own it. It's just for a trade, but and probably it's probably decent long term. I'm not saying that I'm a long term investor, but I'm a trader and I'm long it from now until next week.
$19 billion worth of Penn Gaming with some closed casinos and a Portnoy online component with Barstool. Got to love the gamble. Brett Ritchie, what's yours?
I'm rolling with TCAT, which is Tycoon Art. It is some form of Asian NFT type of, or they have NFT affiliated with them. It's been going absolutely nuts. It was at a $50 million market cap the other day. Now it's 120-something million. But that's the kind of thing that could just run a long way in this market. It's got all the buzzwords. I don't know what it does whatsoever, but it's like a cheap Asian NFT play on the NASDAQ.
$125 million cap, up a quick 84% today. That's crazy. I wonder what
I picked it when it wasn't quite so high, but I'm still holding it. I have it myself. So
good pick of the day, Brett. That is interesting. Going to probably click that into the Google myself later on today. And I'm going to go with just the polar opposite of TCAT, and I'm going to go with Disney. Just the guaranteed 100% winner. I know it's like not the pick everybody wants. Everybody already knows about it, but I own some myself. I just bought a little bit more. I mean, $350 billion. Yes, that's a big, massive company, but they do everything. And your kids, anybody that has kids ever, is just going to consume this content. Parks opening back up and everyone's on Disney Plus. And it's just like they own all the Marvel. They got to have all the characters that they do all these stupid ass movies about. No offense to everybody. But I don't know. You just kind of have to have Disney in the bag. Jack has to record that shit. And then it's just going to be instant profits for me long term.
Just to make sure that people understand, when Mike Gunn says guaranteed 100% winner, he doesn't actually mean 100% you're going to win. Don't sue us. Don't sue us.
No.
It's a gamble.
You got to do your own research in this game. You have to. We don't give you investment advice, so you have to do it yourself. That is going to do it for today, Wednesday. It looks like it's Wednesday the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. All right. And 2021. We're going to leave you with one from my girl, Lady Gaga. That's right. A lot of people don't know, but I am a Gaga fan. And the quote is going to go something like this from the Fame back in the day from Beautiful Dirty Rich. Great song. We got a red light, pornographic dance fight, systematic honey, but we got no money. Our hair is perfect while we're all getting shit wrecked. It's automatic honey, but we got no money. Like and subscribe to this show right here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Market Mania Show. We will see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard at the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. Power of attorney where I would turn in. Can't lie like it's to be burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe lights like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about tonight? My interview.